She got up there and admitted it herself in front of a packed Yankee Stadium. "Y'all know I'm rusty, right? It's been a while." No one had asked her to explain herself. No interviewer had pressed her about her long absence. But standing on stage during Jay-Z's Extra Innings concert on Sunday, July 12th, Rihanna volunteered the truth anyway. And that single line of self-deprecating honesty is now the reason half of pop culture is convinced her comeback might finally be real. The moment happened during the final night of Jay-Z's residency at Yankee Stadium, a run of shows billed as a celebration of 30 years of his music career. It had already turned into something closer to a hip-hop and R&B reunion than a standard concert. Beyoncé showed up. So did Usher, Pharrell Williams, Tiana Taylor. The guest list alone would have been enough to dominate entertainment headlines for a week. But it was Rihanna's appearance that ended up generating the most conversation, because unlike almost everyone else on that stage, she hasn't performed live in years. According to outlets covering the event, including IB Times UK, this marked her first public live performance since the 2023 Super Bowl halftime show. That's not a minor gap. That's roughly 2 years between the last time the public saw her sing live and this surprise cameo at a Jay-Z anniversary show. For an artist whose career was built on constant visibility, arena tours, awards show performances, chart-topping singles, 2 years of near-total silence from the stage is a long time. It's long enough that when she walked out wearing a custom Saint Laurent chocolate brown leather and faux fur outfit, the crowd's reaction wasn't just excitement, it was something closer to disbelief. She and Jay-Z performed Run This Town together, the Grammy-winning collaboration that has anchored both of their catalogs since 2009. Then Rihanna stayed on stage alone for a solo run through Bitch, Better Have My Money, the 2015 single that remains one of her most aggressive, most performance-heavy records, and a kind of vocal control that doesn't come easily if you haven't been rehearsing it regularly. That context matters, because it explains why she felt the need to warn the crowd before she even started. "Y'all know I'm rusty, right? It's been a while. Y'all with me right now?" That's the exact quote circulating across social media, captured on video by fans in the stadium and reposted widely, including a widely shared clip from ex-user @GabGoneBad that racked up attention almost immediately. It wasn't a line from a press release. It was Rihanna, in real time, telling tens of thousands of people in the building and millions more watching clips online that she knew she wasn't at her sharpest, and asking for grace anyway. Then, before she left the stage, she added one more line, one that outlets like Page 6 and Pure Wow both confirmed. "I missed this **T, y'all. New York, I love you guys." 2 sentences, no album announcement, no tour date, no confirmation of anything concrete. And yet those 2 sentences are what set off the wave of comeback commentary that has followed her ever since. Here's why that phrase, specifically, carries weight beyond just being a nice thing to say in the moment. Rihanna has not released a full studio album since Anti, which came out in January 2016. That's not a typo. It has been roughly a decade. In an industry where artists typically release new music every 2 to 3 years to stay commercially relevant, a 10-year gap between albums is almost unheard of. Too for someone still operating at her level of fame. Adele took gaps of 4 to 6 years between projects, and that was considered a long wait. Rihanna's silence has lasted more than twice that, and it's not as though she vanished from public life during that decade. Quite the opposite. She built Fenty Beauty into a billion-dollar cosmetics brand, launched Savage X Fenty as a major lingerie and loungewear company, had 3 children, and became one of the most photographed women on the planet, releasing a single new album. She dropped occasional standalone tracks, Lift Me Up for the Black Panther, Wakanda Forever soundtrack in 2022, and Friend of Mine for the 2025 Smurfs movie soundtrack, but nothing that constituted a proper full-length project. Fans have taken to calling the still unreleased 9th album R9, a nickname that has existed since at least 2019, when Rihanna posted an Instagram video captioned, "Update, me listening to R9 by myself and refusing to release it." That joke has aged into something more like an ongoing inside conversation between Rihanna and her fanbase, one that stretches back years and has included multiple false starts. Back in 2019, she told Vogue she was looking to the sounds of her home country, Barbados, for inspiration on the project, an early hint that R9 would sound different from anything in her back catalog. In a February 2023 Vogue interview, she said she wants to release the new album that year. That interview ran before she publicly announced her second pregnancy during the Super Bowl halftime show. Days later, a moment that shifted her priorities and, by extension, any music timeline that may have existed. Around that same period, speculation about Chi retiring from music altogether picked up steam after she was photographed out with a $AP Rocky wearing a t-shirt that read, "I'm retired." She addressed those rumors directly in an interview with Entertainment Tonight at the launch of her Fenty hairline, though she stopped short of laying out any concrete plans. In a June 2024 interview with Entertainment Tonight, she reinforced that she had no intention of stepping away from music permanently. "I think that music for me is a new discovery. I'm rediscovering things. I've been working on the album for so long that I kind of put all that stuff aside, and now I'm prepared to go back in the studio. I'm gonna start, give me a second," she said. Then in February 2025, speaking to Harper's Bazaar, she went further, describing the album as something that wouldn't be commercial or radio digestible. She explained her reluctance to simply put out any finished song, telling the magazine, "Every time, I was just like, no, it's not me. It's not right. It's not matching my growth. It's not matching my evolution. I can't do this. I can't stand by this." She also described the emotional weight of stepping away from her children to work in the studio, saying she understood she needed to blossom something that hasn't been watered in 8 years. Her fans haven't let up on her about it either, and she's clearly aware of it. Around New Year's, she responded to an Instagram comment demanding an album, with a commenter writing, "We want an album, forehead." Rihanna clapped back, "Listen, Lorenzo. You ain't cute enough to be calling me by my black name, you dizzy F *CK. It was a joke, not a denial, and it fits a broader pattern of her engaging with the R9 conversation through humor, rather than direct confirmation or denial. Her fans haven't let up on her about it either, and she's clearly aware of it. Around New Year's, she responded to an Instagram comment demanding an album, with a commenter writing, "We want an album, forehead." Rihanna clapped back, "Listen, Lorenzo. You ain't cute enough to be calling me by my black name, you dizzy F *CK. It was a joke, not a denial, and it fits a broader pattern of her engaging with the R9 conversation through humor, rather than direct confirmation or denial. By late February 2026, the signs got more concrete. Rihanna posted a day-in-the-lifestyle video in which she told people in a meeting, "I have to go to the studio after this, and I have to make a Mardi Gras costume for my son after the studio. Longest day ever." Shortly after that clip circulated, she shared brief studio footage showing herself with a team of collaborators, reportedly spending over 2 hours in session. Still, as of that point, no release date had been confirmed for anything. Then in May 2026, the conversation got another jolt, though not from Rihanna herself. During an ELLE magazine cover interview tied to a story about Billie Eilish, Eilish was asked which upcoming music she was most excited for. Her response, shared in a video ahead of the cover's release: "If Rihanna expletive ever makes R9, then I'm excited for that." It was a throwaway comment from another artist, the kind of line that usually generates a quick laugh and then disappears. Except this time, Rihanna's own brand jumped into the replies. Savage X Fenty's official account commented, "R9 will be worth the wait, trust." A message that picked up nearly 2,000 likes and reignited fan speculation all over again. It's worth being precise about what that comment actually was and wasn't. It was not an official statement from Rihanna. It was not a release date. It came from her company's social media account, not her personal one, and there has been no follow-up confirmation from Rihanna directly addressing it. That's the pattern that's defined this entire era of her career. Repeated, credible-sounding signals, studio footage, interview quotes, brand comments that never quite convert into an actual product. Even Anti itself, the album everyone is waiting for a follow-up to, has continued making headlines on its own terms. In December 2025, Billboard confirmed that Anti became the first album by a Black female artist to spend 500 weeks on the Billboard 200 chart, ranking at number 134 for the week of Billbling. December 6th, Rihanna reposted the milestone on X, and on January 28th, marking the album's 9th anniversary, she posted a tweet reading simply, "Happy Antiversary." One fan responded, "Forgot you used to make music," a comment that captured in 6 words exactly why the Yankee Stadium moment hit as hard as it did. That's the backdrop against which the Yankee Stadium moment landed. After years of teased updates that led nowhere concrete, seeing her physically back on a stage, performing 2 real songs in front of a real crowd, felt like tangible evidence rather than another verbal tease. The reaction split almost immediately into 2 camps, and it's important to be accurate about both, because this wasn't a uniformly celebratory moment online. On one side, there was the group thrilled simply to see her performing again. Fans pointed out, accurately, that it had been roughly 2 years since her last live appearance and treated the surprise cameo as a long overdue gift. Some comments framed her stage presence and voice as unmistakably intact despite the layoff, with one widely quoted fan reaction reading, "Every surprise Rihanna performance just reminds fans how much they've missed seeing her on stage. She has an effortless charisma that very few artists can match, and the crowd's reaction says it all." Others online joked about $AP Rocky, her longtime partner, playfully trolling him for never bringing her out during his own shows, treating the Jay-Z reunion as evidence that maybe he should be doing the same. But there was also real, documented criticism. Outlets, including The Blast and IOL, reported on the more mixed reaction, noting that after the excitement of the surprise itself wore off, some viewers focused specifically on the vocal execution. Reports characterized the response as one leaving fans divided, with some viewers reacting to clips with a more skeptical,